get this. Okay, greetings, Thousand Air followers. I have here today Mr. Johnny Mcgee of CINNAHOLIC, which is a 100% plant-based bakery. Uh, Johnny, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, please.
Well, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
as you stated, I'm Johnny Mcgee, and I've been with the Arlington Police Department for just shy of 14 years now. Um, I've been a supervisor for over 10 years, and I started my career mainly on patrol. I was selected to be the commander of the training section approximately 3 years ago, and that entails the Force and Tactics Unit, personnel and recruiting, the wellness coordinator, and I'm also in service. And a little bit about my educational background. I have an undergrad from UNT in hospitality management. I have a two master's degree from Amberton University, MBA in strategic leadership, and other masters in Masters of Science of Human Relations and Business. And then my last degree I got was my actual doctorate degree in educational leadership, and my focus was on community organizations. I started out for Liberty, and I transferred to American College. And my wife is also a lieutenant for police department as well, and she's over SWAT and K9, and we have a 6-year-old daughter. And in the meantime, throughout all that, we started our entrepreneur journey through CINNAHOLIC. We purchased one that's located in Mansfield, Texas. Out of all the 120 restaurants or bakeries right now in the U.S. and also Canada, we're one of them. And we sell gourmet cinnamon rolls as well as cookies, brownies, other types of breads, and over 20 variety of flavors to go along with our plant-based goods. So everything we serve is plant-based, and the only item we have that's gluten-free and plant-based is our Dole Whip. Usually you can only get those from Disney properties or in
Yes.
Hawaii, but we have a partnership with them.
Fantastic, Johnny. Well, that's very exciting, man. I'm very proud of what you and your wife both do as entrepreneurs and as service people to us, the patrons of Arlington, okay?
Thank
Uh,
you.
what made you decide to be an entrepreneur? What led you on that journey?
Well, as you could tell in my educational background, I've always been, leaning towards business avenues. And as soon as I actually had earned enough capital to dive into the entrepreneurial realm,
Yes,
decided to go ahead and try it out. I
yes,
know we always talked about generational wealth, especially in the African American, communities, but never
yes,
really
sir.
had the means and resources to go ahead and go forth and try to build that for our family. So me and the wife happened to be watching Shark Tank, and we saw an episode that had Cinnaholic on it. And at that time, it kind of light bulb went off, and like, if they can do it, why can't we? So we called them up, and that's what started us. But it's always been something. Even before wanting to be a police officer, I always wanted to own a business, and so I can always just make my own schedule, help others in the community, and things like that.
Well, that's a fantastic story. I'm a advocate of Shark Tank as well. I try to see as many of them as I can because I'm critiquing along the way as they are, right?
Mhm.
So that's a great story. You already probably touched on some of these, but what do you feel are some of the advantages of being an entrepreneur?
Oh yes. To elaborate on that, I believe the true benefit of ownership is accomplishing something that many others do not even think is possible. It also empowers you, as I stated earlier, to help others out as well in their community and also give them an opportunity of employment and fulfillment. I think the biggest things, selfishly will be like self-actualization and having this right here to help me reach my potential and just say, what can I do better than I was doing yesterday? Well, somebody else is depending on me to make sure that they're putting food on their table. I know it's always going to hold me accountable for doing something better than just being average. So that's kind of what drove me and drives me daily.
Wow, that's it. Listen, as I try to tell people who are in some of my classes, just to share with you, I try to say that to them. They're looking at it as I don't know if I have the resources. I don't know if
Mhm.
I have the skill sets. No, we all have something in us. We
Most
have to
definitely.
find what that is, and we have to work on that, and then we're all learning along the way to go forward.
Mhm. That's
So
true.
for our viewers, what would you tell them to do with their passions and their dreams of being an entrepreneur?
Man, that was a great question. I wrote down a few notes and kind of gave it like a 10-point bullet point.
Yes, sir.
One was starting with self reflection, identifying what your true passion was, and ensuring that it aligned with your entrepreneurial goals. So truly
Yes, sir.
knowing what you want. And then number two was doing the research and validate your idea. Study
Mhm.
the market. And then when you do your business plan, you'll kind of realize this later on, but study your market, your competitors, and also your potential customers. So your foot traffic, what's in the area. So you want to test that idea on a small scale before you blow it up. The third thing was develop a clear plan. So everybody's gonna
Yeah.
have to draft some type of business plan. Most franchises come with a template or a similar one that you can always get from another entrepreneur that came before you, because
Mhm.
many of us are not reinventing the wheel. There's somebody, a predecessor that had it prior to you.
Yes.
And then it's just outlining and tweaking your personal vision to that career plan. Number four was embrace a lifelong learning. You want to make sure this is something you're just not doing a phase or be a trend, because many people have to deal with their personal savings or their 401k, or
Yes.
you're diving into that. So you want to make sure this is not nothing you just see on TV and you want to just say, hey, let's try this out. You want to make sure you're in it to win it for the long run. And then number five was start small, but dream big. You want to begin with what you have, even if it's limited resources, to eventually get what you want. You may not be there at this time, but many things grow, and you may start out small. You may start out being a cashier at McDonald's, but
Yes, sir.
when you work yourself up, you end up owning one. So it's just that mindset.
Yes, sir.
And the segue into mindset, you want to build a resilient mindset. Prepare yourself for the challenges and setbacks, because there will be some. There'll be some when you have to actually, go into your savings a lot more after you actually open your business, because customers may not be coming in as, quite frankly, as much as you would like them to. So you're gonna have to be
Yes.
paying some of your personnel out of your own pocket, and just knowing that it's okay. Just stick to the
Yes,
plan.
sir. Yes, sir.
Number seven is focus on adding value. Your success depends on how much you bring to your customers. So
Mhm.
while they're not always right, they do have some say so as far as your business operations. You never let them, discourage you or outright disrespect you. But just knowing the customers are important. You can't do it alone.
Yes, sir.
Number eight is networking and collaboration. As you all, as viewers, are doing now, networking is very important, because somebody else has already went down this avenue before in this journey, and it can help you look out for certain potholes to come. You want to surround yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals. Not saying that you need all yes men or yes women at the table, but you need somebody to actually have some of the same passion as you, so they can tell you they're going through the same thing as well, so you won't feel alone.
Yes,
Number
sir.
nine is take action constantly. Execution is key. We all have plans, but it's how you execute. Only difference between you putting on a piece of paper is actually how you execute it. So, and the last thing is just give back and stay grounded. As you succeed, help others. As you're currently doing, and this is
Yes.
why I was so adamant about getting on here and trying to do whatever I could do to support you, because I know this right here will help a lot of people out there that's on the fence right now and, quite frankly, don't know the next step to take. And just tell them that you will be successful. It just depends on what you grade success as. So you have to go ahead and make that first start, and turning your dreams into reality requires strategy and heart, and you having the will to go through and just go ahead and fulfill your plan. So it's definitely been a pleasure being on here, and I hope everybody has much success in their endeavors.
Well, Johnny, I want to tell you, this is my first live interview for the Entrepreneur Thousandaires, and I
Yes, sir.
can tell you it's been my pleasure. It is
Appreciate it.
very, very enlightening to hear these. That I get chills every time I hear the stories, because this is exactly what every entrepreneur in their own fields, in their own ways, everything you named is so real. You
Mhm.
probably named subject matters. I could probably have pulled up a slide for almost each one of the things.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Because they're so real. They're so pertinent to the journey. They're so on point. They're real. They mean something. And most of us need that reassurance. They need to hear from someone other than themselves that
Yes, sir.
this is possible. This can work. This is good. And the most important thing, as I wind down, that I'll say is that the reason I decided after being retired in business is to say the give back is the most critical point. So all along the
Exactly.
way, if I had it to do over again, I would spend more time on that. I would
Yeah.
spend more time on some of the things that matter even more than the chase. The chase is one thing, but the goal, what is your personal goal? What do you want to achieve in life? and how do you want to fulfill inside, this is where we do it. And so I think entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is the route to take for many people to give them the fulfillment that they desire.
Most
Okay.
definitely.
So in closing on that, again, I want to thank you very much. This has been a very good meeting for me, and I will be sure to pass this on, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
No,
for
most
your time,
definitely.
my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.